The first time I went looking for silence, I thought I knew where to find it. I pointed myself away from every star I could see, away from the sun, away from the noise of home. I went out to the emptiest stretch of dark I could reach, the kind of place where there is nothing for light years in any direction. And I waited for the quiet. It never came. There is a place that is quieter. It is not where you think it is. It is not in the gaps between galaxies. It is not in the cold dark at the edge of everything. The quietest place in the universe is somewhere far stranger. And once I tell you where, you are not going to be able to unhear it. Let me back up. Let me start with what quiet even means out there, because that is the first thing I got wrong. When you think of silence, you think of an empty room, no sound, total stillness. And you assume space is the ultimate version of that because space is a vacuum and sound cannot travel through a vacuum. That part is true. If a star exploded right next to me, I would not hear it. The scream of it would have nothing to push against, no air, no medium, just light arriving in silence. So you would think space is already perfectly quiet, the quietest thing there is. It is not. And that is where this gets strange, because quiet is not just about sound. Out here, the people who study this think about quiet in a different way. They think about noise as anything that moves, anything that pushes, anything that touches you whether you want it to or not. And by that definition, the space around you right now is screaming. You are sitting somewhere on Earth, probably on a couch. I want you to think about what is passing through your body in this exact second. Light, heat, radio waves from every transmitter on the planet, and particles, tiny pieces of dead stars, moving so fast they go straight through you and out the other side, and you never feel a thing. That is not quiet. That is a room full of ghosts walking through the walls. So if you want real quiet, you have to get away from all of it. And here is the thing nobody tells you. You cannot. Not out there. Not in the dark between the stars. I will show you why. In the first minute of trying to be alone, you fail. The sun is still finding you. Even far from home, the solar wind is moving at around 400 kilometers per second, a thin stream of charged particles flung out by our star in every direction. It is faint. It is almost nothing, but it is touching you. There is no door you can close. So you go further. You leave the sun behind entirely. You cross out past where its wind finally gives up, a boundary the people who fly probes out there call the heliopause. You step outside the bubble our star blows around itself, and for one beautiful moment you think, this is it. I am finally outside. You are not, because now you are standing in the wind of every other star. The galaxy itself has a kind of weather. Gas drifts between the stars, thin past anything you could imagine, but it is there, and it is moving, and it is touching you. And running through all of it, all the time, from every direction, are cosmic rays. Particles thrown out by exploding stars somewhere across the galaxy, traveling for millions of years and arriving at you, at your body. Right now, on your couch, a few of them are passing through you as I say this. There is no wall out there. That is the part that got me. I kept expecting an edge, a place where the noise stops and the silence begins. There is no edge. The galaxy has no quiet corner. I looked. So you go further still. You leave the galaxy. You travel out into the dark between galaxies. The place that looks completely empty in every photograph. The place that should finally be still. And it is the loudest place of all. Stay with me here, because this is the part I had to look up twice. When you get out into deep intergalactic space, into what looks like perfect nothing, you are not in silence. You are sitting inside an echo. The whole sky, in every direction, is glowing, not in light you can see, in microwaves, a faint, even hum of radiation that fills the entire universe, top to bottom, edge to edge, with no gaps and no cold spots that truly go dark. The people who study this call it the cosmic microwave background. And it is not a thing in the sky. It is the sky. It is the oldest thing there is. It is the light from the moment the universe first cooled enough to become clear, about 380,000 years after it began. That light has been traveling ever since, stretched out by the expanding universe until it dropped down into microwaves. And it is everywhere. Think about what that means. You flew out past the sun, past the galaxy, out into the emptiest dark you could find, looking for somewhere quiet. And the moment you got there, you realized you were not in a quiet room. You were standing inside the faint, frozen sound of the universe being born. It has a temperature, just under 3 degrees above absolute zero. Cold beyond anything you will ever feel. But not zero, not silent. The universe does not let anything be truly cold, and it does not let anywhere be truly quiet. Because the first light is still here, still humming, still touching everything that exists. There is no place in the open universe where that hum stops. That one still gets me. I went looking for the quietest place there is, and what I found was that the universe comes with a sound built in, a noise floor you cannot get under. The whole of space is ringing very, very softly with the memory of its own beginning. So where is the quietest place? If it is not the dark between stars, and it is not the dark between galaxies, then where? It is on Earth. And it is man-made. I know how this sounds. After everything I just told you, after flying out past the edge of the galaxy, the answer was home the whole time. Let me try again, because I want to get this right. There are rooms on Earth, built by small teams of very patient people, that are quieter than any natural place in the entire universe. They are called anechoic chambers, and the best of them are measured at negative decibels, below the threshold of human hearing, quieter than the inside of your own skull. Here is how they do it. The walls are not flat. They are covered in thousands of foam wedges, all pointing inward, like a room turned into a soft, spined mouth. Sound goes in. It does not come back. Every wedge swallows the echo before it can return. The floor is suspended, so nothing from the building below can travel up through it. The whole room sits inside another room, inside thick concrete, sealed away from the world. And then they take the air out of it, or as close to out as they can get, because the air itself carries sound and they want it gone. What is left is a kind of quiet that does not exist anywhere else. Not in space, where the background hum is always present. Not on the rest of Earth, where there is always wind, always a distant engine, always the ground itself shifting under you. In these rooms, there is nothing. No echo, no floor noise, no hum. Nothing arriving from outside. And here is the part that did something to me. People who go into these rooms cannot stay long, not because anything hurts them, because of what they start to hear. When the outside world finally goes silent, your own body does not. You hear your heartbeat. You hear the blood moving through your head. Some people say they can hear their own bones moving, a faint grinding when they turn, the hiss of their own nervous system, a sound that is always there, that the world is normally loud enough to hide. The quietest place in the universe is not empty. It is the one place quiet enough to finally hear yourself. We are not built for that. None of us are. We are built to live inside noise. We have spent our whole existence surrounded by sound, and we never once stopped to notice that the silence underneath it might be the most unsettling thing there is. People last minutes in those rooms. The record is something like an hour. Most cannot do it. They start to feel like they are coming apart because the only thing left to listen to is the machine of their own body running, and we were never meant to sit alone with that sound. I have thought about this more than I want to admit, because here is where it turned for me. I went out into space looking for silence, and what I learned is that the universe will not give you any. It hums, it glows, it touches you from every direction all the time, whether you are near a star or further from everything than you can picture. There is no off switch out there. There is no quiet corner of creation where you can finally rest. And I used to find that frightening. The idea that you can never truly be alone, that something is always arriving, always passing through you. I do not find it frightening anymore. Because that hum, that faint background noise you cannot escape, is the universe keeping you company. The light touching you right now left its source before there were oceans on Earth. The first light, the one that fills all of space, has been traveling toward you for almost the entire age of the universe. And it found you, on your couch, tonight. You are never in silence. And maybe that is not a curse. Maybe it means you are never actually alone. The whole universe is faintly, constantly, gently reaching out and touching everything in it, including you. And it has been doing that since the very beginning. And it has never once stopped. The only place that hum goes away is a room we had to build ourselves. A box we made on purpose to keep the universe out. And the moment we got inside it, we could not stand it. We ran from the silence we worked so hard to create. I think there is something in that. I think we built the quietest place in the universe and then discovered we did not actually want quiet. We wanted to be reminded that something is out there, that something is always arriving. So let me be honest with you about what is real here, because I always will be. The anechoic chambers are real. The negative decibel readings are real. The cosmic microwave background is real. And it is genuinely the closest thing the universe has to a sound floor, a faint glow filling all of space that you truly cannot get away from. The part about hearing your own heartbeat and blood is real, reported by people who have actually sat in those rooms. The discomfort is real. What I have stretched is the word quiet. Sound and radiation are not the same thing. And a scientist would tell you I have been mixing them on purpose this whole time. They would be right. I did it because the deeper truth survives the mixing. Whether you measure it in decibels or in particles or in ancient light, the answer is the same. There is no perfect silence out there. The universe is always reaching you, and the only true quiet we have ever found is a quiet we had to build and could not bear to stay inside of. So here is what I want you to take back to your own life tonight. The next time a room feels too loud, the next time the world is too much and you wish for just a little silence, remember that real silence exists and that we made it, and that almost no one can stand it for more than a few minutes. The noise around you is the sound of being alive in a universe that is alive too. The hum never stops because the universe never stops touching you. You have been wrapped in that company your whole life and never noticed. You are not alone in the dark. You never were. The light made sure of that a long time ago. If you want to sit with me through another one of these, the next one is about a star you can see in the sky right now that is almost certainly already died, and the strange, quiet grief of looking at something that is not there anymore. It is a hard one. I will see you there.